Welcome everyone to another episode of the Transatlantic Takedown. I'm Derek in Ireland, and as always, I'm joined by Megan in New York City. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm doing good. Just recovering with a little neck issues, but overall, I'm doing well. Excited to get into wrestling this week, particularly Elimination Chambers. A lot has taken
Indeed.
place since our predictions from Friday. So, yeah, I'm just ready to talk about wrestling.
Well, I think we're always going to remember where we were March the 1st, 2025, with the events of this past Saturday. For me, this is one of the best PLEs, I think, in recent times. Had a little bit of everything in it. There was a real feast of female wrestling also, I thought. They were really put on display, and it was even much better than the Royal Rumble, I think. How about you? Did you think the same?
Yeah, a lot of good surprises, a lot of nice returns. I could tell that WWE, particularly Triple H, is working extremely hard to make sure that spoilers and leaks aren't dictating the stories.
Yeah.
He spoke about that briefly during the press conference. But yeah. I mean, Royal Rumble was good. Elimination Chambers was good. I know WrestleMania is going to be even better.
Of course.
So yeah.
Well, like the women's chamber match possibly was the best women's chamber match that I can remember. Even Trish and Tiffy versus Candice, and I know I gave Candice some grief last week, and that was more than a run-of-the-mill match. I think it was a little bit better than we thought it was going to be. It was quite entertaining. Kevin and Sami Zayn, what a fucking match that was! Like that was insane.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite match of all definitely was I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're annoying. You need to stop. I would have to say my favorite match was definitely the men's elimination chambers match.
The men's
surprisingly,
yeah.
It was good. It was really, really good. It's kind of like what I said last week. Sad about it. I knew for some reason CM Punk wasn't going to win. He didn't. It was such a grand way that he lost to. So it wasn't just a quick roll up and he was out of the match. It was cinema.
Yeah.
It was cinema. But
I really enjoyed the interactions between himself and Cena, and even the tribute to the Heart Foundation with the heart attack was pretty cool. And Cena even saying he was sorry to Punk when putting him to sleep. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a surprise seeing Drew go out so early, but it kind of roasted the dirt sheets in a way, I think, with that happening.
It might have been the reason why he was eliminated first. It may not even have been the plan, but they just, some things they get right, like he said. A lot of things they get wrong.
Definitely.
And he's working tooth and nail to make sure that a lot of these things don't get out. All I can say to Triple H, if he ever sees this, the call is coming from inside the house. The call is coming from inside the house. The dirt sheets can't get the information if it isn't someone in the company giving them the information.
That's it.
Now, so like he said, he made sure that when it came down to the whole John Cena heel turn, that it was going to be specifically a small circle of people that would know, which is great because it never got out.
Wait,
So
did Cena turn heel at the weekend?
it's been the talk since Saturday. It's been the talk since Saturday. R-Truth is crashing out. Send prayers to R-Truth. He's not. It's not an easy time for him. His childhood hero then turned bad. The man he looked up to since he was a child. He's now a heel. He done sold his soul to The Rock.
Well,
so send prayers out to R-Truth.
Travis Scott has no business being in a WWE ring.
I agree.
What the hell was he doing? And he legitimately injured Cody, apparently. His eardrum caused him some injury. But what he was doing there, I don't know. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well,
he's one of the Rock's guys.
Well, again, we heard about Cena's injury by someone who, he'll never get his information right anyway. He might have gotten that right. I don't know. I mean, we'll see come Friday. We'll see if Cody shows up on Friday. I know who will be showing up on Friday. Jade and Randy. Jade and Randy are supposed to be returning this Friday on SmackDown. So I know they have a lot to say about the people who took them out.
Opening, like to bring Jade back in that manner, it was like she looked devastating. That's the kind of Jade Cargill we need to be seeing all the time.
I mean, yeah, it seems as though she's reverting back to the character that she was in AEW. And she may not even have started off this way, but they kind of had to rebuild her up. They had to, strengthen her character. Tony never took the time out to necessarily make sure or to have her train the way that she was supposed to. Now, there was people there that did help train her, particularly Cody's brother, Dustin, and some other people at AEW. But they had their own careers too, so they didn't have the time to, hold her hand. During the training. But when she came to WWE, I guess they saw her and they was like, no, no, we are going to hold off. We are going to make sure that you wrestle as good as you look.
Well,
and it took some months.
That's it. She absolutely massacred Naomi. Do you think that Naomi is the fall guy for this in a way, and it's actually Bianca that's behind it all?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. These little nuggets that has been thrown out there that people are starting to pick up again. Like, for instance, this one promo that Liv and Raquel had with Bianca and Jade a couple of months ago. And Liv told Jade in front of Bianca that she needed to watch her back.
Yeah.
Watch your back around Bianca. And Bianca wailed on her. Fast forward, Jade gets injured. She gets taken out. Then the tape comes out of showing Liv and Raquel. We still don't know who sent the footage. Still don't know. May have been Bianca herself. Who knows?
Yeah.
Then you had Liv and Raquel on Raw, and you have Dominique asking Liv, like, so what about Jay? Stuff like it seems as though he's not even sure that Liv and Raquel did not have something to do with it. That speaks volume.
Yeah. Maybe so.
But yeah, it's just at some point I do feel that Naomi could have been the fall guy after she got injured and eliminated from the match. Liv went to the chamber that Bianca was in, and she was arguing with her outside of the glass, and she told her, "This is your fault. All of this is your fault." So, in hindsight, Liv could have been telling her, like, "Hey, your tag team partner just got the lights beaten out of her, and this is because of you."
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think the
Liv
match.
seemed to know something.
Yeah, I think the match in general, like you could see the impact it was having on all of the women. We could see the marks and the bruises on their bodies, especially Liv Morgan,
Yeah.
bloodied and broken. It came down to her and Belair in the end, and even where Bianca just hammered Liv off the glass and whipped her with her hair and everything like that. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, like this comment. Look, I said something. I made a promise to apologize if I was wrong. Naomi got beat up. Maybe I pulled the trigger too fast by apologizing. I might have to rescindicate my apology. Okay? I might have to take it back. However, Naomi looked good last night. Saw some pictures of her at the Queen of the Ring movie premiere. Unfortunately, I wasn't invited. It was here in New York last night. Didn't know nothing about it. But she looked good with her man, and she had a nice little sparkly dress with a matching neck brace. So, she's staying in character.
And Rikishi's keeping an eye out for her as well. He's backing her. So
yeah. And he's gonna speak only good things about his daughter-in-law, and rightfully so. Naomi is a talented wrestler.
Well, speaking of saying good things, I said a lot of bad things about Sami Zayn last week, and I need to take a lot of that back because what a match we witnessed between him and Kevin Owens at the Chamber. The storytelling, the emotion, the craziness, it was insane. And what these guys were willing to do in the modern era now to entertain the crowd with their craft, and it was exceptional. So I have to hand it to both of them. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was a nice touch, the darkened lights, the ref not in his usual outfit. And, you had Cole telling the whole story there, roaring, you sick bastard, like Kevin Owens and everything. I thought it was really, really good.
Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Because people just be sleeping on Sammy. Sammy did his 1-2s.
I don't take it all back. Like, I still, Sami Zayn as a character overall, I really don't see the big, fuss about him. But the match was really fantastic.
That is absolutely ridiculous. See, that match couldn't have ended any better. It couldn't have ended any better. I wanted to see Randy punt Kevin's head out of the arena. And he was going to. And they stopped him. Now, the last time Randy did that, he wasn't as big as he is now. He's more solid now. Okay, he is a brick house now.
Yeah.
I know if he would have punt Kevin in the head, he would have caused real damage.
Maybe that's what Kevin needs at this stage.
That is what Kevin deserves. That is what he deserves.
Needs, not deserves. Kevin is good. I like Kevin.
Kevin deserves. Now Kevin is a victim. Kevin is a victim. Every bad thing that happens to Kevin is because of other people. It's never because of him. He's a terrible friend. Okay. He's never really there for anyone. Like we've seen, okay, even before Cody accepted the offer to work with Roman at Bad Blood, Kevin was already teasing knocking Cody upside his head. He had no reason at all to feel that way about Cody. So he was already a snake.
Well, I don't know. I do enjoy Kevin Owens. I think Sammy's going to be out of the picture for a little while now, which is fine. Doesn't bother me. With Randy back now to take over there.
Good, because Randy's going to finish what Sammy should have finished off. Randy's going to polish Kevin off. So yeah, I'm sad that Sammy is gone. You know, he could go be with his wife and son and make sure he put curtains up in his house, so the next time Kevin decides to be a creeper, he can't look into his home. But as for Randy, I'm glad Randy is back. Randy is going to do what Sammy and Cody couldn't have done, and I love that for myself. I do. Welcome back, Randy.
Yeah, welcome back indeed. If we just go back to what happened after the men's chamber match and the big reveal, I actually thought a couple of times with the body language that Cody was going to lay out Cena at one stage with the belt on a couple of occasions, just his stance and everything. And maybe we were led to, maybe that was done purposely, that we were led to believe that and designed that way. But it was pure cinema how it played out. And yeah, it was just amazing. And I was listening to Jim Cornette there, I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about the production quality of WWE compared to some other organizations, and even the way the cameras cut and pick up the facial expressions in detail, that it's major league in comparison to others, because we have that clear picture of Cena and his face over Cody's shoulder, that's been shown everywhere. But yeah, fantastic stuff. I think Cody now is possibly going to be the baby face to beat all baby faces in this good versus evil type storyline they're going to have. But I think somewhere down the line, maybe at WrestleMania, we might see a bit of Stone Cold.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe coming in to help in some way.
It's looking like it's going to be a passing of the torch between John and Cody when it comes down to the baby faces of the company. I mean, I totally understand. John Cena has been a face for the majority of his career, and if Vince was still there, John would still be a face.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see just how far John Cena goes. I would love to see Stone Cold involved. I would love to see Stone Cold be a part of it. We got Undertaker last year. It'd be nice to see Stone Cold this year. I'm wanting. We even got a little taste of The Rock and Triple H last year. That little shoving match that they had backstage at the kickoff for WrestleMania. So
I just feel there's less risk. I know John Cena has been the uber face of the company for so long, but Cody's kind of taking his place now, and there was more risk perhaps in turning Cody than John, who's going towards the end of his career. But it's an interesting fact is Cody Rhodes, I think, will now baby face the main event at WrestleMania 3 years in a row, which is the first time it's been done since Hulk Hogan back at WrestleMania 5, 6, and 7. So,
okay.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
hate that Cody's being compared to him, but history
it
is
is what it is.
history.
It is history, yeah. But like if we go to Raw then on Monday night, there was a lot that happened there. No, you know, none more so than Rhea Ripley losing her title.
Yeah. Um,
Bit of a
in
surprise.
so many in so many words, Rhea shouldn't have been talking shit. That's really what it was. It's just like in her promo. She took her eye off the ball, and maybe that was Bianca's reasoning for being out there. Yes, I'm out there because I want to see who I face at WrestleMania, but also she was rooting for Io. Maybe she was rooting for Io because she knew that Io was an easier person to defeat. Rhea never defeated Io, but Bianca has. And never had Bianca and Rhea to know whether or not Bianca could defeat Rhea. This is what we was hoping to be built up to, but it's like I said on Twitter. Honestly, Rhea's going to raise all type of unholy hell, and she's going to find a way to be in that match, and it's going to end up being a triple threat.
Exactly. I can't see it going ahead without Rhea Ripley being involved in some way because she's such a big star. We even saw that when she was coming out, the pop that she gets. She's adored by fans, so she will be involved in some way. But Raw kicked off with CM Punk, enraged, as you can imagine, with what happened on Saturday night. Calling The Rock the bald fraud. And Seth Rollins came out then pretty quickly afterwards because Punk was telling Becky Lynch she needed to come and get her man.
Before he ends up in a wheelchair. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come get your man. I mean, that
bit of a tweet shared afterwards about that.
Yeah, real. Yeah. Rebecca was tripping with that tweet. Glad that she took it down though.
Just a bit of banter.
I told you to come get your man before he ends up in a wheelchair. You say, well, maybe it's not my man that should be gotten, and you kind of insinuated something
but
that's not there.
That's maybe opening the door for another lady that's could possibly come at some stage then as well. That's CM Punk's wife. Do you know what I mean? Like
I'm hoping that AJ feels that way. Hoping. I will hope so. But see, the thing about it is when it comes down to CM Punk, there's two things Phil Brooks do not play with. That's his dog, Larry, and that's his wife, AJ. So when you kind of insinuate that there's something going on between him and this child who sees him as a father figure, knowing allegedly how they get down in WWE. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, that's how Becky met her husband.
Yeah, well, this match that we're going to see between CM Punk and Seth, this could easily main event one of the nights of like the first night of Mania rather than Jay and Gunter. What do you think? Probably Jay and Gunter is probably going to be maybe one of the first matches like they did last year with Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley to kick off the show. That they might possibly do the same because I think Seth and CM Punk could easily main event that first night.
It depends on what the stipulation going to be. It can't be a regular match. It has to be something grand. Now, I saw somebody mention a Hell in a Cell match. A Hell in a Cell match after their steel cage match on Monday? I don't know.
Yeah.
it has to be a match we haven't seen in a very long time. Maybe an Iron Man match.
Yeah, we've seen a lot
Maybe
of street fights, all those types of things, but
it has to be one of those matches that we used to see back in the day that we don't see very often. Like they brought back the strap match. They brought back um it can't be. That's what I'm saying. It cannot be a Hell in a Cell. This man just had a Hell in a Cell with Drew. I know he doesn't want to do that. Um but it has
casket
to
match.
be huh?
Bring back the casket match.
You know, buried alive. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
he brings some of them old feels back. Like, let's tap in Mick Foley and ask Mick Foley what he would like to see. Because Mick Foley, he dedicated his whole body to wrestling and he's been through it all. So get him into the creative department and let him figure out what they should do. But it has to be something good. It has to be a throwback match.
Yeah,
Something.
no, I'm sure they'll come up with something good anyway, for sure.
That
Yeah, bull rope or
well,
fall count anywhere match.
well, we kind of got that similar to the unsanctioned match that we had with Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just think with the intensity between Punk and the pure hatred between him and Rollins, that it probably does need to be more than just the ordinary type match, but definitely it could main event of the first night easily. Because if I'm being honest, I do like Jay and I like Gunter, but that bit of a storyline between them, I don't know. There's something missing. There's something lacking in it. And I can't quite
Yeah,
put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but it's just it doesn't feel like main event type thing.
that's because a lot of people just hate on Jay Uso. I hate it. I hate it. Y'all was rooting for that man until he won, and now y'all showing y'all true colors. But thank you. Is how I feel about it. Thank you for
Yeah,
pushing him because honestly, Jay has been pushing out some of the most best promos ever. Now, everyone said that Jimmy has always been the better one on the mic, and I can say that's true. But just having people kind of um say that Jay doesn't deserve it, he shouldn't be going up for the title.
he does. He
It's
does deserve it. He's there. Like we said this before. He's paid his dues. He's been there quite a long time. Like he's practically a veteran now. So he does deserve it. But there's just something. Whether it's just the way it's being booked or I don't know. There's a lot of different things, but it just doesn't
no,
feel like
it just shows how finicky sometimes the fans can be,
yeah,
but that's okay because I'm taking my son to see Jay Uso at the cricket meet and greet on Monday, and I'm
brilliant.
going to tell him you deserve this title shot. I've been rooting for you
Yeah.
since you split up with the bloodline. We'll be rooting for you all the way from New York during your match with Gunther. And looking forward to you holding that title up over your head, honestly.
That's going to be exciting anyway to meet him. But Lyra v Ivy Nile, then that was a good match. Showed how resilient our Irish Lyra can be dealing with the power of Ivy to come back and win that match. And it builds a little bit more credibility around the title, I feel, which is great.
Yeah.
We, so there's no harm there. Kaiser and Penta, there was a segment between them building that up. And we had the War Raiders beating the Creed brothers then. And Finn Balor and Braun Breaker look like they might be working an angle of some sort too. So maybe with Dom throwing in
Yeah.
there.
Well, I don't know what to say about American Made. All three of them lost their title opportunities on Monday, but their leader is out there. Chad
What is he up?
Gable.
What is he up?
I don't know. I don't know who this lucha fighter he is looking
That
for.
Dominic put him in with.
Well, this might lead up to the fact that Ray Phoenix is now officially a free agent.
Too. Yeah.
He is no longer a part of AEW, so congratulations to him. People fought very hard to get him and Ricky Saints out, and yeah, and now they're both out. They both free, and they both are free to come to WWE. So that might play a role in it. Also, something else happened.
Karrion Kross up to no good again. Manipulation tactics on AJ Styles. So AJ is officially calling out Logan Paul at Madison Square Garden next week. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of a feud between those guys.
Yes, that just sounds so entertaining.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm not a fan of Logan. I don't. I feel like they're trying to find a spot for him. Like they're trying to make him fetch. They're trying to make him cool. He's not cool. He has little highlights in his matches.
He's a talented wrestler, and he's for somebody that's been in it relatively short amount of time. He is pretty good. I'll give him that, but he's not a likable guy at all in any way, shape, or form. But
no, he is not fetch. Okay, stop trying to make Logan fetch. Yeah. He's not fetch. Mean Girls reference, but he's not. But yeah, I just had to go back really quickly because, listen, I'll be honest. The way he did Jay on Monday is a possibility. It's definitely a possibility that this can happen.
Squash match.
It was, you got to balance it out a little bit. Jay can't always just super kick him. He can't always spare him. Like, you have to have that back and forth a little bit. And we're going to see it during the match. But you got to admit, Gunther's title reign as a heavyweight champion has not been as fulfilling as his reign as Intercontinental Champion. For those 600 and some odd days, he was really giving us matches, and he was whooping people's asses left and right, and it was worth following up. Giving him the heavyweight title and not really feeding him any good feuds, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his fault at all. It's just it goes to show that people he wasn't a top priority. Unfortunately, like, he's the champion on Raw. He should have been a top priority. But there's people that's still gonna root for him, but I just think it's Jay's time. It's definitely Jay's time.
Hopefully so. And moving along to AEW, I would imagine the latest episode was overshadowed with all things WWE this past weekend, but they have Revolution coming up next weekend. Yeah. And I was just looking there before we came on. They've signed a deal with Amazon Prime Video for distribution across the US, the UK, and Canada for all their pay-per-views going forward, which is something we spoke about previously too. I really think that's some success. I think it's going to help their brand a lot. We'll have Netflix for WWE and then Prime for AEW, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's really, really good news. For some people thinking that the company was actually paying, they're not. They're still hanging in there.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they'll be full price on Prime.
Well,
Uh,
I would imagine I don't know whether your subscription will cover it. It's doubtful. I would think that, there's a lot of like movies you can rent and things like that. So I would say this will probably be similar to that. But who knows? Who knows? Um,
I'm still not paying $50 for a pay-per-view.
yeah. Well, look. I mean, they look
I
pretty.
have ways of watching it. It
Yeah.
doesn't cost $50 either. So Tony's
Well,
gonna
that's
have to
going back
work
to
on
the old
that.
days. That would have been. I remember back in years and years ago, the pay-per-views over here would have cost you 25, 30 quid to get them. Like, it was mental.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. He charges far too much.
yeah. But the card for Revolution looks interesting enough. John Moxley versus Copeland. That's for the World Championship. Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. Mercedes Moné against was it Momo Watanabe for the TBS belt. So yeah, that'll be in it. You'll be tuning into that, no doubt, Megan, will you?
I'll try. I'll try. I mean, I just okay. Predicting it now. Mercedes is going to retain. Tony is going to retain. John is going to lose. However, I do think Christian will
Get
ultimately
involved.
cash in his contract because people tend to forget that Christian has the contract. It's kind of like the money in the bank briefcase. So he could
Mm,
cash in and take the title off of Edge. Um Kenny is going to beat Takeshka.
okay.
And
Hurt
yeah,
Syndicate and the Outrunners.
her syndicate.
Yeah.
They're
Swerve
not gonna take the
Strickland and
titles off of
Ricochet then for a number one contender match. What do you think? They're going to give Ricochet the push.
Ricochet deserves the push.
Mm.
I think with the character change, he deserves the push. But Ricochet been kind of getting the upper hand on Swerve, so they might just go ahead and just give it to Swerve.
And Will Ospreay against Kyle Fletcher in a cage match has the potential to be really good. Like, Will Ospreay
Yes.
he's a
Yes.
fantastic wrestler anyway. He always puts on one hell of a show. So
That
yeah,
is true.
MJF and Hangman
Oh,
Page.
should go. Oh, oof. Now, that is a match that I'm looking forward to seeing. That match and the Kyle Fletcher and Offspring match because the four of them separately give really good matches. And I do like this character development with Hangman. I just always enjoy watching Offspring. Like he never gives a boring match. Um and overall the four men kind of hate each other. So
Mm,
it's going to give good TV. So yeah, those are matches I will be definitely looking forward to watching the
yeah.
most. I'm not really understanding the Tony and Mariah, but I'm kind of hoping that this is it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Another swan.
I guess they're doing like the rubber match things with them. But yeah, yeah. But those are my predictions. I'm thinking that's
Okay.
what's going to happen. You know.
Nice
So
one. Just moving on then, just to get into some news about the Irish scene. OTT over here, they have an event
Ricochet.
coming up soon in Dublin on the 22nd of March, the homecoming. Haven't seen any matches announced yet, but I think they're keeping things under wraps there because WWE are in Belfast that same weekend, so anything is possible based on guests they've had in the past. But I do know Elijah is going to be there in attendance from TNA. We have RCW. Their next event is towards the end of March on the 29th and that's going to be booked by AI. So they fed the roster into AI, and the results are what we will see on the night, with additional decisions being made throughout the night based on that too. So really interesting concept. And if it's anything like past events, it'll be fantastic. And we've a lot of other stuff then coming up from the likes of Hard Knocks in Limerick, and that's on the Infinity Brawl on the 23rd of March. And yeah, I haven't been able to make the last couple of events there, but I really enjoyed my time last year when I got to go. They have a new Blackout Pro Wrestling Academy as well, which is affiliated with them, a wrestling
Okay.
school in Limerick. So anybody that's interested in that should get along there and get involved. So yeah. Also, one more thing I want to say is Irish wrestling's MVP LJ Cleary made his debut for CCW Wrestling in Florida this past weekend. He's definitely worth checking out, and he's destined for greatness. So yeah, anybody that wants to check that out should do so.
Cool. Well, nothing really going on over here. I just thought it was really interesting that WWE is starting to push out new podcasts. There was the Raw Recap podcast with Sam and Megan that
Yeah,
debuted this past Monday. I didn't get a chance to tune in, but I thought it was kind of interesting. There's a lot of wrestling recap podcasts out there. So now that WWE kind of want to get into the mix of it, it's kind of interesting. So, don't need to get recaps from anyone else because you could get it directly from the company. So I don't know what
yeah.
that will say or do for podcasts. It's like ours
Mm-hmm.
who like to recap different shows and programs. I don't know if that's a sense of
Yeah,
I don't know. But if WWE is doing it, I'm probably going to have to push harder to make your podcast stand out more.
yeah, I think so.
Uh, because shut up.
Well, like
um,
WWE just have the access to everything, the production, the editing,
yes,
you
probably
you
can
name
use
it.
the clips too. That's the thing. Like you're not gonna get
This is it.
copywritten for using your own clips.
Yeah.
Yes, but the one podcast that I am interested in listening to when it does come out is Stephanie. Stephanie is going to be doing her own podcast,
That's
talking about
correct.
her life and her experience in wrestling and stuff. And I think that would be really interesting. That'd be really
Mhm.
cool because yeah. But to go back to the Raw recap, that's only one. There's supposed to be a line of other podcasts that will be coming out with the option of rotating hosts, some
Okay.
being legends, some being wrestlers and stuff. So they kind of
Wow.
know what they're doing. They've been watching. They definitely been watching. So if you can
Yeah.
get a WWE legend or like Busted Open Radio, um, or just wrestlers in general, and have them to do the podcast, then yeah.
Yeah, well, look, it's definitely a crowded space, as we know, and there's more and more popping up all the time. All you have to do, I mean, if you just go on YouTube, you see it, on Spotify and everywhere like that. So it is incredibly different space, and that's why we appreciate everybody that joins us here every week, and all the support, or any of the likes and shares and subscriptions and so on. Like it's fantastic. Yeah, so thank you, everybody.
Yes, and soon, don't know when that will be, but we will be targeting Twitch more, um possibly doing some lives on their watch alongs and stuff. It won't be the upcoming PLE's WrestleMania because again Derek will be out there, but possibly Backlash or whichever pay-per-view that's kind of early in the day, because a lot of pay-per-views is at night and that kind of,
Yeah.
it's hard on Derek because he's some hours ahead. But just a quick reminder, this Sunday, for those that's in the States, we have daylight savings. So next week, Transatlantic Takedown will be on at 1:30 p.m. in the States for what, about 3 weeks until your daylight saving. So when is your daylight saving?
Yeah, we might even change that a little bit to suit. We'll see. We're still playing around with some of that type of thing too. But like that, we're still in the creative phase, I suppose, with moving forward with things to do and ideas and so on. So just stay tuned. That's all I can say.
But
for what's to come.
Pretty much, we're going to be an hour early here, so it'll still be the same time for Derek.
Yeah.
In Ireland, but it'll be an hour early here. So instead of 2:30, it'll be 1:30, so that it doesn't cut into his bedtime. So we do have that, and yes, as in for Twitch, just stay tuned. We'll let y'all know what it is that we'll do. But we are going to try to build a follow there as well. So we will, we're live on there now, but there might be sometimes where we might just stream directly from off of there. So we'll see.
Definitely, yeah.
But
a lot of different things coming up anyway. But make sure to check out If I May Speak Candidly on across YouTube and Irish Wrestle Talk as well.
Yes, I finally made 100, y'all. I finally made 100 subscribers. I had to scratch tooth and nail, but I finally got it. So thank y'all for who has subscribed. And the Twitch thing kind of extends out to there too. I do want to try to step into live streaming outside of pre-recorded videos, but as long as y'all just be as nice to me as y'all are now when I do go live, because being on live here, I could kind of lean on Derek, and he's a good dance partner, so it's easy for me to go live here. But if I do decide to go live, yeah, y'all just be nice to me. That's all I'm asking. And yeah, that is it.
That's it. So until next time, we'll see you all again soon. Thank you very much once again, and take care.
Bye.